Hello, everybody, and welcome to Minecraft Week 2. This is, I have a lot to explain in a short amount of time. I'm going to start with what you're looking at now. Right now, you're looking at a greenhouse that I tried to build. Well, not really a greenhouse, more of a petting zoo, really, because what I wanted to do is I wanted the sunlight to interact with the grass and create animals, but I think I did it wrong because there are two glass ceilings there, because there's one up in the sky and then there's one above the house. So I may have done that wrong. Anyway, we're going to jump straight over here to Dan's house. You remember that other underwater passage? We are inside of Dan's house right now. Dan's house got destroyed. If you haven't seen the video, there's another video out. You guys should really watch it. It's way, way more fun and also shorter than this video. Dan now just lives mostly underground. He's still in the process of working on his house. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'm going to explain a few things in terms of this video. I, first off, recorded way more than I meant to ever record. I recorded 56 minutes. And what you're watching right now is not live me talking over it, just for the fact that I messed up, overwrote the file that had the audio on it, and everything sucked. What you're looking at right here is an entire mess. This is all because of what you're going to watch in the other video. There was a giant lava tower there, and things more or less got messy. I had to use a map editor to clear up most of the mess, and even then, it didn't really help too much. But as I was saying, I lost all of the original commentary audio. That is my fault. I'm an idiot and overwrote it. But it still sucks very, very much. So everything that I was saying while this video was playing is gone. But that's okay because I was able to take it into a video editor and cut off over half an hour of footage. Just not even really cutting it, but more or less just speeding it up. So I am going to be showing you our world. Things have changed quite a bit. There are now more players. It's not just my roommates, myself, and Mallory, but Jeremy and his brother Anthony have joined us. They're very good friends of mine. And another good friend of mine named Austin. So the server now has like 8 or so people on it, maybe even 9. Um, and I'm going to be showing you around the world. I'm going to be speeding things up using my power of editing because I'm an editor. Because otherwise, this movie would be really, really, really freaking long, and that's kind of boring. So we saw my house, which hasn't changed much, and we saw Dan's, which got demolished, and this is Taylor's. Taylor had the castle from last time, and the castle is now much, 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 much larger. The part with the dirt is just for his reference so he knows to get rid of later whenever he's working on it. But the tower has obviously been enlarged from when you last saw it. And I'm just going to run through the house in 200% speed, so double speed, just so we have a chance to get through everything without keeping you here all day. And I already know that this video is over 20 minutes long, so just kind of bear with me as I show you most of the stuff that we've been able to accomplish in the wonderful, wonderful world of Minecraft. Since we last left, there I really can't stress to you enough to watch the other video. It is a short but sweet destruction video. I had created a very elaborate tower, and then we knock it down. But this is Taylor's house. Taylor is continually expanding. He has these 2 main towers, but I believe he's building backwards into the sea. Taylor lives mostly out here by himself, and I know I had shown that last video that he lives pretty far away from the rest of us. But wait, just wait until you see Jeremy's house. For some odd reason, Jeremy thought when I told him that he should build far away, he thought that I meant like very, 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 very far away, which I did not mean, but he took it to heart and really built far away. But this is Taylor's house. It's coming along quite nicely. You'll have to excuse me if we run through things a bit because, well, I'm, saving time. So this was all here last time. We're going to run over here to the sky bridge, and we go down the ladder here. I actually built a adjacent track, so we can actually let the thing run, the minecart run, and it will always come back to us. That's not the most efficient thing. And the most efficient thing would be to not even use the powered minecarts, but use one of the glitchy things. But we're not that advanced yet. So we're going to go back through my house, and we're actually going to take the glass house thing that I showed last time. So we come up here, I got this glass house on the hill, and that giant H tower is Austin's house. So we're going to go into Austin's house here. Let me slow it down so we can actually show what the heck is going on. And Austin has built a mine downwards, as you know, as if people don't do that. Everybody does that. He's got his own little personal waterfall down here. And Austin only got the game just a few days ago. Jeremy got it first after the last you guys had seen, and then his brother Anthony got it just probably a day or so later, and then Austin got it immediately following. So Austin actually built a tunnel from his house back into my house, which is where we are now. So we're going to run back through to get out of here. And whenever we emerge, we will make our way to the next destination, which is up on his tower. Do you see that pyramid out there? That's Dan's. Dan made a giant pyramid. It's supposed to be modeled after the ones from Kung Pao, which is a very fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, it's one of my favorites. But up on this tower, you can also see the Dan Hollywood sign. Dan wrote that in wool over there. He had a good old jolly fun time doing that. And the tower over there on the right is just a marker from whenever I climbed out of a cave that I was in for roughly 2 hours and nearly died. But the next thing I want to show you is down there. That's the sky bridge that Jeremy built out of glass, and a little beyond it is Alex's house, which we will be getting to a little later. Alex's house is very impressive, to say the least. It is very, very crazy. There's also something I want to show you that's down there, but if we jump down there, we would die. So we're going to jump down this ladder really quick, and I'm going to show you my little secret hideaway that nobody knows about. No one has ever found this. No one knows about it. You guys are the first to find out about this little itty-bitty hole that I've dug right here in the dirt underwater. This is my little hidey hole type thing. And there's no torches down here. I want to avoid torches, and I want to keep it powered by lava, just so it keeps it lit better. And I haven't done very much here, but I'm in the process. And also now Taylor's down here, so Taylor knows where it is. But before Taylor, there was no one else that had seen it. So I'm pretty proud of it. And I want to do more with it later, but as for now, there's other things to show. And since it's night, we're going to run into my house and go through that way so I don't get myself killed. Go back down the way we came, up through my stairs, and then we're going to take this door here. Now, this is a door that goes straight to Jeremy's house via minecart. But it also runs through Alex's house, so we're going to speed this up and jump into Alex's home. Things are looking fancy. Things are looking very fancy, and I'm sure you can already tell. Alex's house is crazy. It is absolutely nuts. It is very, very well done. He has complimentary minecarts and coal there, and he shows that the tunnel goes to Jeremy's house, and the ladder goes to his own house, his fort, as he calls it. So we are going to show you Alex's house, and I'm going to keep it slowed down for this part just because it is so impressive. Everything here was built by hand. All of the materials were built by hand. This entire thing is underwater. Only the very, very top little itty bit sticks out, and this entire dome right here is underwater. In fact, you can enter it from under the ocean. You can actually swim under this thing, and you can enter his home, which is really useful if you're running away from enemies too. But like I said, everything was handcrafted. He collected all the materials himself. He had to dig out this entire thing from the ocean because it was just blocks under the water. The only thing is the bluestone was had to be cheated, because if you're familiar with Minecraft, you know that the bluestone is ridiculously hard to mine. It is the rarest block you can find in Minecraft, and he wanted to make a house that was very attractive, I guess you could say. And he wanted to make use of the bluestone, so I had no problem giving him to that. Since I'm the admin on the server, I can grant block requests, and I don't do it for anything crazy like diamond or something. But there's been certain times where I needed to do that. For this project, I had no problem doing that. Also for the sky bridge that needed glass. Out there in the distance, I was just showing. That's one of the places we're going to go later. We actually started a separate game mode it's not a literal game mode, but it's something we came up with that we have lovingly referred to as Communism Mode. We actually leave, we got like 8 people to do it. Pretty much everyone on the server left all of their items, all their tools, everything they own in their house. We all met at the spawn point, and we just went in one single direction as a group. Most fun I've ever had in Minecraft. It was amazing. We just lived off of the land and just had a wonderful, wonderful time. Um, but I'm going to be showing you where we went because we just went in the we went in the day, and then nightfall came. We had no supplies, so we all had to work together as a group to build shelter and get tools and things like that. So that's what made it so much fun. But we're going to get over there in a minute. What I was showing you up there was the sky bridge, and that's where we're going next. And now that it's daylight, I won't die, so we'll head over there now if creepers don't get in the way. Jeremy built all this himself. I did give him the glass to do it because it's a ridiculous amount of glass. I guess he didn't really have to use glass, but I mean, I would have rather have him use glass just so you can like look under you and see where you're going. So once again, it's one of those things that, in my opinion, you can call it cheating if you want, but it's not diamonds. It's not anything crazy. I have no problem supplying the glass needed for this. Now up here on the right, this gigantic house, which is also creating a terrible, terrible shadow. The Undertower does create a whole lot of monsters over there, and that is one thing that Anthony said he's trying to take care of, but it's something that he has not really taken care of quite yet, just because he has such a massive project going on over here. But we're going to run in here and show you what is one of the crazier Minecraft projects that are going on in this world in this week 2 update. I'm going to speed it up a little. You can see back there just how dark everything is. There's also a desert back there that we would like to explore at some point. Got lava flowing everywhere. This is the original house. It was very low ceilings, kind of basic, but he very much expanded quickly, and he expanded downward more than even he did upward. And wait till you see this. He's added so many little chandelier things to this room. It is absolutely nuts. Just everywhere you look, those things are just hanging from the ceiling, and it's quite an impressive feat. Um, it's not that I don't understand how he did it. It's just I don't understand the amount of time it would have taken to have done that. He spends a terrible, a whole lot of time on Minecraft. He plays very, very, very often. I always see him in the server, and I'm sure that he idles a bit, like he's doing now. He's over there in the corner. But even so, you cannot discount the fact that that is not only impressive, but maybe even a little crazy. He's also started to dig out the floor, and I haven't even been over here in a long time, but it's very obvious that he's doing a lot of work. But with all of that said and done, we are going to continue down Rainbow Road, or the Sky Bridge, and see Jeremy's house. And if you remember what I said, Jeremy came in even before Anthony. So Jeremy chose to live very, very, very far away. And I really don't know why. I don't know why he chose to live so far away. It really doesn't make all that much sense to me, but he did. And because of that, we don't visit him very often, to be honest. But there's really not much we can do. But he lives down here in this tower. I'll take you up here just to see around. Um, he works on his house a pretty good amount. He doesn't have as it's not as big, I guess. He's been working downwards a lot. He also grows a lot of sugar cane, but he grows his mine. He travels downward into his mine, and his natural mine that he originally worked with is huge. But I will not be highlighting that in this video because I think natural mines are actually quite boring. This is his glass house on the water. Uh, not a huge deal. He wants to make it bigger and probably even extend to underwater, which would not be too difficult for him to do. Um, Now I'm going to take you down into his house a bit so you can kind of see what he's got going on. And everything that you're looking at is people's first houses. No one has continually rebuilt houses. Well, Dan. Obviously, Dan burned his house down. He's the only individual who has built another house. Everyone else is on their first houses. Jeremy's main room here is pretty interesting because it's actually underwater. It has a waterfall, or well, I call it a waterfall, but it's just underwater. And he also has that lava floor. And then this is the tunnel that connects to that first tunnel that I went down to get to Alex's house. But obviously, we're not gonna do that. And to save time, I'm just gonna transport us back here up to the sky bridge, and we're gonna run along this path through the sunset until we get all the way back to civilization or Alex's house. And the last part of this video, which I'm going to show you, is simply that whole communist mode thing that I had talked about a little earlier. And like I said, we all ditched our stuff and we just decided that we would travel. And Alex actually has a little part of his fort that has a box labeled complimentary boats. And that's what we use to travel behind his home. So we all got in our little boats and we decided to travel one direction. And the problem is we actually got a pretty late start on the day, and it became nightfall very, 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 very quickly. At least much faster than we were ever suspecting it would. But this is the way we exited, except by boat. And we did not stop at this island, but we later came back and added torches to just let us know how to get back to our individual homes. We made shore here, and it was night almost immediately, and we had to scramble for supplies. Had a really hard time finding stone, but we dug down and got some. And we didn't really mind this place all that well because we weren't here very long. We were fighting monsters barehanded well into the night, and that was unfortunate to say the least. Many of us died. Had to be had to come back. Had to walk back. Um, but there was about 8 of us this first night, and minus the people who died, we all just kind of crowded in this little hole and waited for the night to be over. And there was always creepers at the door like there are now, and it was one of those things that we just kind of had to deal with them. Some of us died. We rebuilt the house just in case we ever had to come back, and sure enough, some of us did because, well, it's a long walk back, and if you don't make it all the way to the newest house before this happens, then well, you're going to need to stay in that little hidey hole home. But following the torches that me and Alex have so meticulously placed, we run all the way over here to the latest house, our second home, which is vastly, vastly improved. A lot has changed. It has 2 entrances, one on either side. The entrances are filled with sandstone, and we also have a pillar over there in the water that's 64 high that just allows us to know where everything is. And the whole idea of the communist thing is very real, and I mean that in the sense of we collect supplies for everyone. Uh, so, like for example, we have the food to eat. All of that was actually harvested by me and Mallory. We just harvested a bunch of food and put it in that crate, so everybody can enjoy it. If you get hurt, you can go out and harvest it. Um, or eat it rather, but we would like you to harvest it. We don't want you just mooching, which I guess is a place where communism can certainly fail. But we're hoping, for the most part, that everything will work out in this game mode. The only problem is we feel like the challenge has kind of gone away. If you see, I already have a diamond pickaxe just because I mined so much diamond and iron, and I have a full iron suit and all this stuff. So we don't want to make the game too easy. We would like to keep up the challenge. And people actually go back to work on their other houses. So people actually make their own chests um, here, and they'll leave their stuff here, and then they can type kill, and it instantly kills them and takes them back to the spawn point, which is closer to their houses. So a fair amount of people have been doing that, which is acceptable certainly because the survival mode that we've been doing, this communist mode, is really only fun when you are when you're with a lot of people. When you're doing it by yourself, it suddenly loses a lot of the value that it had. But um, people are just going back to work on their houses, and then we join up later, and we try to all get online at the same time to continue. We're not really sure where we're going next in terms of the map, but I'm sure we'll figure that out. Like I was saying, people leave their stuff in chests, and this is just an example of that. We can look inside of a chest here and see a bunch of the stuff that was left in there. Um, it's just one of those things, people throw this stuff in there, so whenever we do get back to playing survival multiplayer, they can have all their same stuff. The rules are do not bring anything from home because it makes it too easy. There's no reason to start with, all this stuff. But to be honest, I've actually gotten more in this survival multiplayer communism mode than I had at home to begin with. And I am the admin. I can create stuff, but I try not to cheat. Unless, it is something like we need a lot of a material for a project that, will better all of us. Like for those minecart things, I did not legitimately construct the minecart rails. It was just, in my opinion, a waste of iron, especially iron that we just didn't have. So I had no problem creating those. This is a alternate exit to the place we're currently in, but obviously a creeper has blown it up because creepers are very, very annoying. I'm sure I can get pretty much everyone to agree with me in the comments on that one. I'm going to start speeding this up a little bit because, to be honest, a lot of the mine looks the exact same and is very, very, very confusing. But one thing I do want to point out is this right here, the Crazy Cavern, which is something I just pretty much randomly discovered. I was just digging down, and then I hit a hole. And whenever I hit the hole, I was like, oh crap. And there was enemies inside. I had to fashion a bow and then go inside and kill them. It took about 700 torches to light the inside of this place, which is a bit crazy, I gotta admit. But I have a philosophy whenever I'm lighting a natural mine, is that instead of lighting a little bit and then mining the stuff and then lighting a little bit, I just light the entire thing because I hate thinking that somewhere around a corner somewhere is a creeper or uh, you know uh, a skeleton or a zombie or whatever. So I just go through and I absolutely light the entire thing. It also helps when there's magma around, so I don't have to light that part. But the place is huge. I did my best to go back and add steps to make it easier to navigate, but this was a very rewarding cavern. I found it myself, and I mined it all the same night, so I did everything myself, which is good for me because I actually made out with a huge haul. I got over 150 iron, 35 gold, 8 diamonds, 4 lapis lazuli, and there's a ton of redstone down there. But I don't see a need for it. The whole circuitry thing in the survival multiplayer just doesn't make sense to use to me. And once again, if we were going to try and create some kind of big group project near the spawn point that would require circuitry, I would have absolutely no problem just auto-generating it. Um, I mean, some people are against that philosophy, but I don't know. It's my personal preference. But anyway, that's the way we came from over there, out in the distance, and it actually took us several days to get over here. But you can make it all the way back to Alex's house if you leave in the morning from here, and you should be fine. So I guess we just didn't move quickly enough. We kind of trailed behind, but we were also waiting on a lot of people to move at once, and we were doing a lot of exploring and stuff that would hold us up. And we're not really sure which direction we are going to go next. There's a hill over there to the right um, that's very big and is very interesting to us, so we may go there in the future. But otherwise, yeah, this was Minecraft Week 2 update, and I hope you guys got to see a little more of the stuff that's been built because we have new people that are playing the game, and when there's more people, there's always more creativity and things like that going on. And I hope you got a good look at the whole communist mode thing that we've been doing. It's probably a terrible way of putting it. There's probably a better way of putting it, but it really is a ton of fun. If you have some friends on a server, or just know of a server where there's people that might want to do this thing, it is a blast to do. I would so highly recommend it. Everybody meet at the spawn point. Put your stuffs in chest prior. If you want to prove that you don't have anything, type the kill command, and so you'll reappear at the spawn point and not have anything. And then just all head in a direction and survive. It's so much fun. It becomes a little less fun after a few days out there because you start getting well stocked, but still a blast to play. And thanks for watching. I do apologize again for the fact that the audio is not the original audio, but I am an idiot and overwrote that. I'm currently looking into the best way of recording Portal, and hopefully you guys will be sticking around for my Let's Play of Portal, which will be on the channel Steven Plays. So if you want to subscribe to that and get a head start, that would be a good way to be ready for the gameplay commentary that I'll be doing on that. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next week when you will get a video that doesn't suck.